Yes, everyone, welcome back to Forever United TV. Welcome back to your weekend. It is weekend. We officially start weekend here on Forever United TV on a Friday. That's why you all love the channel so much, because I convince you that it is a 3-day weekend. I'm talking complete and utter waffle here right now. I'm only joking, everybody. Of course, we are looking forward to Manchester United's last tour game on Sunday, though, and then it is full-on countdown. The team returns. New training ground at Manchester United. Will we have a new striker? That was the topic this morning, and it has escalated throughout the day. I've been checking on the news. I've been waiting. I thought, you know what? I'll go through everything in one fell swoop in one evening show tonight, rather than putting anything else out there. I was just waiting to see if it got to a point where there was even more information, and we have got it. All on Benjamin Cesco. That is coming up in the show. Updates on Sancho, on Antony as well. JJ Gabriel, all my days. Did you see that goal for the under-18s? It doesn't really seem to matter right now to everybody, because all we're thinking about is transfers. But a 14-year-old rinsing about 4 defenders and banging it into the bottom. Honestly, United have a gem. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Mega, mega, mega goal. Go watch it if you haven't seen it already. But we're talking the here and now, and obviously transfers are what we want to know about, and where are we at with Benjamin Sesko. Should I even talk about that tweet that Plettenberg has put out about United approaching Alexander Isak? No, we're not going to talk about that, because that is not real, is it? United are not going to spend over £100 million this summer on a striker when we've scouted and put all of our attentions into Benjamin Sesko. I mean, come on, Plettenberg. Seriously? Look, United might have just asked, I don't know, maybe United have said, yeah, of course they would be interested if Isak wanted to come. But, well, he said that he's committed to Liverpool. Pretty much the same thing he did with Hugo Ekitike. Maybe it's just another bit of clickbait from Plettenberg. I have no idea, but United were never going to get Alexander Isak. It was never going to happen. He was leaving Newcastle because Liverpool tapped him up. I'm just going to say that. That's what I think's happened. That's not true, and that's not factual. That's just an opinion from a Man United fan. You can say it's sour grapes because it's United on Liverpool if you want, but I think that's what's happened, especially after we heard from Ornstein, and it was Ornstein who said that Arne Slot ended up doing that, 1 hour, 45-minute Zoom call with Isak when he's a Newcastle player. Yeah, more on that on Football Talks later on, everybody, anyway. But yeah, what's happening with United? Benjamin Sesko. Now, Manchester United's top target, as we know, waiting for like what Romano said, for him to make his decision. He's going to take his time. He's going to speak to his family and friends. Every single outlet that I've seen and read this morning, everyone I've spoken to, everyone that I know, anyone that might have any sort of inkling into where this is going, is saying, don't even worry about what Newcastle are doing for Benjamin Sesko. Apparently now, Benjamin Sesko has set aside his priority for one Premier League team only. That's it. There's only one place he wants to go. Only one place that he really, if there was going to be this gentleman's so-called agreement, I'm going back to that, yes, the Romano quote, where he said, if there is one club that he really desires and wants to go to, there is a set fee. We will find out if there is a set fee here, and that is Manchester United. Benjamin Sesko wants Manchester United. Don't even worry about Newcastle. I've seen Man United source say on Twitter this afternoon. I've seen one source actually come out and say that if this carries on the way that it's going right now, this deal as in everything as it's going right now, bit by bit, day by day, then we could actually have here we go by next week. This is how quickly this is now moving. Now, behind the scenes, obviously, we haven't heard from Fabrizio Romano yet after what he said this morning and last night, but even he said that Benjamin Sesko knows of Manchester United. He's just teeing it up. He's just building it up, and we'll maybe get a Sunday big announcement from Fabrizio Romano or something like that. I mean, I don't even know if it's going to be Sunday, but that's the news coming around at the moment, that Benjamin Sesko wants Manchester United. So then you're thinking, right, okay, that might be baloney. That might be some other Man United sources trying to chance their arm. So you look through a little bit more, you do a little bit more digging, and if you were looking into this deal with a lot of interest and looking for the minor little details that might convince you even more, you would have seen the Newcastle United side of things reporting on this and where we're actually at with their side of things. And Craig Hope, who is the correspondent up for the Daily Mail in the North East, who talks about everything Newcastle, is on the pulse up there in the North East for them, has come out and said Newcastle have pulled out of the race to sign Benjamin Cesco. They're looking at Wisa. They're still trying to hold on to Alexander Isak. They have rejected a bid of over 120, well, all in all, 120 million for Alexander Isak. I mean, come on. That's where his value is. They apparently want 150. So, well, Newcastle are fighting it out with Liverpool. And again, I'll talk about that on Football Talks later on. If you want all the information on that side of things, I'll bring you that later on. But, well, Newcastle, let's say, for instance, from the Man United side of things, they're concentrating on fighting Liverpool. Are looking at bidding again, like Ben Jacobs said, for Johan Wisa at Newcastle. They're also looking at other potential striker targets right now as well. Not Benjamin Cesco, it would seem, going off what everybody said. Now, I still think that we're going to get the Romano. Cesco's not decided. Newcastle's still in the race. Other journalists will say Newcastle's still in the race because it's not been made official yet. But the people that are allowed to go out and take a chance on social media or report something on a website or report something from what they know, someone close, German reporters, other reporters that have not got as big a reputation as Romano or Ornstein, and they have to wait it out until they get their bang-on money comments. They will just tease you in like what Romano does. Like United have told Leipzig that they're going to bid because they're waiting, and they're waiting now, for Benjamin Cesco to tell them that he wants to go. He is going to just use that line, and he's very clever in what he does, Romano. You start to learn his methods and how he works when you follow the transfer market quite a lot. And it is all building up to what we're already talking about here. And he will say this news is everywhere right now. But like I told you, it was Vival. Like I told you, United told Leipzig they were going to bid. And there is the bid. We're now expecting the Cesco bid next. And Romano will go back to that. Because Benjamin Cesco has already said yes to Manchester United. That's the story behind the scenes. And that's what's going to come out next in more of an official sort of statement from the big journalist. And we'll get this from Romano and Ornstein at the same time, of course. But everybody talking about this is saying that Cesco only wants Manchester United. That was his choice, and that was always his choice. It's why nothing happened when Newcastle put that bid on the table and offered him the world. Basically, for a Newcastle player to be the highest paid player at the club, that's a big statement, and that's a big push from Newcastle, and that's why every journalist was saying they're all in. But Craig Hope here of the Daily Mail now saying, North East correspondent, Newcastle are out of the race to sign Benjamin Cesco. He also said 2 days ago, the thought is at Newcastle that Benjamin Cesco is going to sign for Manchester United. This is the biggest, this is like the, let's just say, this is the closest you're going to get to a correspondent or a publication for Newcastle United who's going to big up the club as best as he can. Like, be very, very pro Newcastle. And he always is, Craig Hope, in terms of these deals. He's always behind the Newcastle side of things from what I've read before. And for him to be coming out and saying that it looks like this is now dead in the water from the Newcastle side of things, they're holding out for Isak, they're bidding for Wisa. It just looks like it is a one-way train. And that train is heading to Manchester and Manchester United. That's Benjamin Cesco. We've heard about all of the German stuff, and there's people sat back comfortably right now, German reporters still talking about this like they've already told us what's going to happen. It's all about what Manchester United can do with Leipzig now, and the bid is coming. And that, I think, is the one thing that we need to remember in all of this now. It's what Manchester United do with Leipzig. We know the player is fully on board, and United will now try to negotiate this deal as quickly as possible. With some 30 days to go in the transfer market, then with this window now, I think Manchester United are realistically looking at trying to get Cesco in for the start of the season. Now, if United go, like some sources and reports are saying today, and get this deal done, like they are doing, and they carry on at the speed and the trajectory that they're going at with this deal right now, because it's moving fast every single day, they're saying, then United could actually have Benjamin Cesco available for the Fiorentina game next Saturday. Now, I'm not convinced of that. I would take Benjamin Cesco in at United before the window shuts. I'll still be happy with that. I think he's going to be in before the start of the season, though, going off what's been said here. I think Benjamin Cesco wants this. I think he wants to get in and training with Manchester United before the season starts. And if we can have them three up front for the start of the season, I'm not saying that Cesco will start, by the way, for Arsenal. I don't know if he's going to get into the club in time to convince Ruben Amorim enough that he's fully ready. We've seen what he's done with Brian Mbeumo, and Mbeumo missing the first 2 games of the tour. So he wants to make sure that he's up to speed and with every other player in the squad, first of all. So no guarantees with this. Maybe if we sign him, like these reports are saying, early next week, then he's got a full week training at Carrington. Then we're going to have the next week in training in preparation for the Arsenal game. He may come off the bench. He may start. We'll see. But I'm not fully convinced that we're going to get the deal done before the start of the season. But look, never say never. Benjamin Cesco, obviously, he's going to want to get into Manchester United if he is now saying that he wants United. If he's committed to United, he's expecting them, going off these conversations, to go in and get this deal completed with Leipzig now. So I think that's where his head is probably at. I'm guessing, again, like I said before, we don't know the full ins and outs of everything, just going off the reports. But as a professional player, you would want to be in the Arsenal game, particularly if Arsenal decided not to buy you. So I think the push from the players' side will be, get me in, I want in that game. And for Man United, I think they want their new striker in. Now, we said this morning about Rasmus Hojlund and the Daily Mail, Chris Wheeler saying that United will sell all over Rasmus Hojlund if Sesko comes in. Nothing more on that today. Let's see how that goes. I think it's all coming down to, like Simon Stone said, Man United don't need to sell players right now to get Benjamin Cesco, but what does that do to their players when he's actually in? Do they feel like they then need to move players on to make room for Benjamin Cesco in what they want to do in their rotation this season? That, I think, we'll start to find out. And I don't think we're going to get any movement on Rasmus Hojlund until we get the here we go on Benjamin Cesco. So that's the situation and where the land lies with Cesco right now. Get into the comment section and talk to me, please, everybody. I hope you're doing fantastically well. We had a great Friday. It seems to be quite positive amongst the Man United fan base at the moment. Everyone is a little bit upbeat, which is good to see heading into the weekend. Let's get a few comments and supers as well right now. Alex King has been 4 months a member. Evening, everyone. Anyone reckon we're going to win the league? Look, never say never. No, I'm only joking. I nearly had you. No, we're not winning the league. We're not winning the league for a long time, but we can definitely make a dent in climbing back up there anyway. We can really have a good goal this season with the way that we're working in this transfer window, I feel, anyway. Alex with a super chat says, Cesco, Cunha and Bumo, Ahmad, Bruno, rivals are trembling. Arsenal are bricking it. I'm telling you right now, Arsenal are starting to get worried. They really are. They've already having a poor pre-season. Look, Arsenal will be ready for United on the opening day. I'm not even going to kid myself. It's going to be a tough game for United, but we can win that game. And I think Arsenal are thinking right now, God, why did United have to have this type of summer in the one season where we're playing them on the opening day at Old Trafford? Like, why? Because it will be a bit of a dampener for Arsenal if they do drop points on the opening day. But I can fully see Man United getting a draw out of that game. At the moment, that's where my prediction is lying. I'm getting more and more confident about United potentially winning that game now than I've ever been. The way that we're playing in pre-season, the players that we've still got to come back, the players that we're looking at buying in. I mean, we are unbeaten in pre-season, and we've only really seen Cunha play one full game. We've not seen Mbumo. We're using the same players as last season. We've got Leach to come back in defence as well. Mazraoui to come back and Mbumo to start a game. If we buy Cesco, we've got that to look forward to. And then to top it all off, if we go out and buy another goalkeeper, we have that wonderful thing, and that I'm going to have that moment this season when we actually see a different capable goalkeeper in goal for Man United other than Andre Onana, because he's going at AFCON. And no matter what you say, United will have another goalkeeper in this season. I don't think it will be Bayindir. I'd rather play Tom Eaton than Bayindir, honestly. You know how I feel. I'd rather play Tom Eaton than Andre Onana, but that's still to come as well this season. And this summer, like a lot of people are saying, United still could buy another 2 players, including Cesco, maybe one more. We'll see what happens. Manchester United, by the way, quickly on that, I'm not going to go too much into the midfield, but there was another story that was flying around this morning. Ipswich looked very close to signing Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough. United are considering, apparently, hijacking that deal and going in with a late bid for Hayden Hackney. I don't know on that one. I don't. So that would be a signing for the future for Manchester United. But yeah, if United went in and offered a deal for Hayden Hackney, he's going to take United over Ipswich, isn't he? So, again, just a story going around. That's the only midfield sort of, interest or rumour going around at the moment. Nothing much more. I think it is all on Cesco right now. And when United get a big target in their sights, it is all concentration on that player, isn't it? Cesco, a goalkeeper, and a DM for a 70% window. It's a lot more than that, mate. I would definitely give it more than that, Red. I think that's Red. Your name's gone completely off the screen, mate. There's not enough room on it, sorry. But thanks for the super chat, mate. Jack with another super chat says, cheers, Craig Hope. Newcastle fans are crying now. Yes, they are. I would be very worried as a Newcastle fan right now. Again, I said this morning, I'm not going to feel sorry for Newcastle, but if this was me and I was a fan of Newcastle, or say, for instance, this was happening to Man United and that the summer that Newcastle are having was our summer, wow, you would hear so much more about it. This would be doomsday for Manchester United if we was having the window that Newcastle are right now. And I wouldn't want to be a Newcastle fan. Going off the high of last season, their first trophy in God knows how many years, they get into the Champions League and it's falling apart in the transfer window. They're like, what is going on? What do we have to do? But anyway, concentrate on United. All we're worried about right now is getting back, first of all, into Europe, and then maybe looking at really mounting a challenge for the top 4 this season, while everyone else is out playing in Europe. I'm telling you now, if you give me that front three with this team and the way that Ruben's getting into these players, then realistically, I would expect Manchester United to be mounting a serious top 4 challenge this season. I don't care what any pundit says. They're all numpties at the moment. The way they're talking about United, they're looking at it like we've not even done any business, and we're not playing well in pre-season, and we've not got European football to deal with, and we haven't dealt with the culture of the football club. Like, stop ignoring the positive and get off your negative narrative just to build headlines and get clicks on your social media and your radio stations, you absolute numpties. God's sake, lazy journalism and punditry. Honestly, with United, it just seems to be the easy, let's laugh at United, the big club that's fallen. Oh, how the mighty have fallen with Manchester United. Easy to have a go, but none of them are doing their research or homework as to what's actually happening at United. It's embarrassing, and I cannot wait for Ruben to absolutely rinse them all this season. Honestly, I would love nothing more than for United to absolutely smash this season and make all of them idiots. That's what they are, idiot pundits that have got no clue. Someone posted a clip of Alan Shearer talking on the podcast he does with Gary Lineker. I can't remember the name of it, sorry. But you know the one anyway. Manchester United, like, who are they going to buy? Who is going to go to Manchester United? They haven't got Champions League. That means they haven't got Champions League money. So what player is going to want to go to Manchester United? Then they've got to deal with the players that they've got that are not working. Oops, sorry, Alan. Well, Ruben's cut them out, and they're all finding clubs right now, which we're going to report on in a minute, so stay with us on that one. Oh, yeah, we bought Cunha. He didn't want to go to Newcastle. He didn't want to go anywhere else, but, yeah, United. And Bumo, you have seen pictures of Newcastle fans putting him in a Newcastle shirt online. So, yeah, that, I think, is another one that said no to you and yes to United. And Benjamin Sesko, yeah, that one as well, Alan. Yeah, like, just remember, it's because you turned United down, mate, and made a big deal out of it. Don't forget, yeah, you won nothing. Absolutely nothing with Newcastle. And, yeah, I know you have still got sour grapes about it, but, yeah, you will eat them words. Yeah, Perry Groves was the one on TalkSport, by the way, who said Man United needed 2 centre-backs. What an absolute clown. I'm sorry. I know people at TalkSport, decent people at TalkSport, but Perry, I mean, seriously, mate, do your own work. Stop talking about Manchester United like you really know what's happening there. Honestly, poor, lazy punditry and journalism that's going out there with United right now. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Look at the people who know the club. Look at Andy Mitten. Look at people, the correspondents around the football club. Yeah, you may not like some of them, or the publications, for instance. You may not like the MEN, Samuel Luckhurst, or the Daily Mail and Chris Wheeler, but these guys are in and amongst Manchester United daily. They know what's going on. The pundits that are reporting on Manchester United, yeah, they may be ex-Man United players, but they know what's going on at Manchester United. So that, I think, is where we need to be looking at for our information. Or, well, not actually for information, but just like to get a reasonable opinion on United. Some people clueless, absolutely clueless. And it's hilarious to watch. I just hope Ruben smashes them to pieces. Quickly, on Ruben as well, though, looking into it, this was a report from Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail. I just mentioned him before. Ruben Amorim has banned all cameras, including Manchester United, from filming tactical sessions. He personally demonstrates to the players exactly where he wants them positioned on the pitch at all times. Ruben is slowly but surely, and more reports from this have come out saying that he feels getting through at Manchester United on and off the pitch right now. He's building that culture, and the tactics and his style is starting to come through. The requirements to be in a Ruben Amorim side are starting to be clear, and there are players playing here that he knows are actually capable of giving it to him. And he's not even afraid to drop the likes of Matheus Cunha, who is obviously Manchester United's number one and was United's number one target this summer, and we got him in. So, look, there's been many reports about Cunha actually not wanting to run that much. And if he feels fatigued, then Ruben's taking him out. United have got other options right now. You'll have Mason Mount chomping at the bit, and that's the culture that we have built at United right now. If you're not quite ready, someone else is. That's it. Simple as. United have kick-started this pre-season, and the reports in most of the publications this morning that I was reading was because Ruben's personal plans for these players was built on fitness, which they've just carried on this pre-season, and the fitness and sports science at Manchester United, looking at it, have been insanely impressed with it. I kind of egged the word a little bit insanely there, but very impressed is probably more realistic. Sorry, I like throwing in the odd spectacular word now and then. You know what I'm like. But that, I think, is obviously what Ruben's created and where he feels really confident to then cherry-pick the players that he knows are going to come in and do that job for Manchester United. And you can see everybody's, all of a sudden, lapping it up and loving it and taking that instruction on board, which is massive for us this season. Because, like we said, we can't rely on Cunha. We can't rely on Boomer. These players that have been there for Manchester United throughout these last few years, they need to step up. We can't just rely on signings this summer. Everybody else has to do their part. So, like we've said before, you've got Dorgu stepping up on the left-hand side. Ahmad's obviously learning that role on the right-hand side also, and coming into 10. Him, Bruno, Agati and Mainu have stepped up this summer as well. The centre-backs steps up. Yoro looks like an absolute world-beater. He looks like he is set for an amazing future at Manchester United, that kid. So you've got all of that is to come with the new signings coming in. Yeah, very, very confident. Right, let's get some more in. Brits Abroad Super Chat says, "Hi Adam, who is the next target after Cesco?" I think it will be Lamans. Senny Lamans in goal. I'm just going to say that quickly, mate, so we can get on with other people's comments. But yeah, I think it will be the goalkeeper. I think that's next for Man United. DH says, "Why does everyone think Paulinho was the answer? He's a grafter that doesn't offer much going forward, and we've already got Agate." No, I would have taken Paulinho and taken him on loan. Honestly, I think United should have hijacked that deal. So to answer that, DH, I've always said, and I've been very clear, I would take him on loan this season in a heartbeat, because he is robust, he has the engine, he has the energy, and he does pass the ball well. He releases it quickly, which would suit our system. I thought United might have been on that if they were trying to be creative. But I was in favour of going for João Paulinho, but he's gone Spurs. We move on. No drama. There's other fish in the sea. And United have got players, like I said, that might actually step forward this season. Can Kobbie Mainoo continue his pre-season form? Can Manuel Ugarte find his feet in the Premier League and start to become that more complete player that Ruben needs him to be next to Bruno Fernandes? All of these questions are going to be answered this season by these players. Otherwise, we're going to see if Omar Barada and his 2-year plan really do kick in, and if he's true to his word, which was players that have had 2 years and are not improving and are not impressing at the club will be moved on. Nobody's going to hang around at Manchester United if you're not cutting it. You're not going to have a player sat there whose value is completely dropping off because United don't know how to use him, and obviously his form is completely fallen away. That's what's happened before with so many players. You can count them all. You can count on Luke Shaw. You can count on Martial, Jesse Lingard through the years. You can count on Victor Lindelof. You can count on quite a few players that as form has just dropped off and nobody wants. Jadon Sancho was another player. Again, nobody wants. Them days we will see if they are gone. But that's what Omar Berrada is promising at Manchester United. That the days of people hanging around at the club who are not improving are over. So let's see. Manuel Ugarte and a few others fall into that category this season. I think Ugarte will be all right, personally. I do. I've had my concerns about him. I want to see him in a big game and see what he does. And obviously, the big tests are coming. Antony Wisdom with a chat. I love Ruben's approach to management. It doesn't matter who you are or what wages you're on. If you don't give 100, then you'll warm the bench. Straight out of the Alex Ferguson notebook. He knows what he's got to do. There were times, like he said, like he was actually thinking of leaving Manchester United. If that was true, and he was brought back in, then he's probably got the bit between his teeth now. And he's going full bent on it now. He's going full bore and he's getting backing and extra backing from this board. And you know what? It's nice to see a Manchester United management team structure actually backing the manager that has come in and failed last season. Couldn't get anything out of them players. Has got no room for error right now. So what they're doing is they're going to give him everything that he needs to the best of their powers and ability in the transfer window. And so far, I cannot argue with anything that they have done. They're getting rid of the right players. They're isolating them if they can't get rid of them and giving them the chance, but they're not integrating them back willy-nilly like we did seasons before. We're making a point that you don't get back in just because you haven't found a club yet. Find one or you're going to be left in the wilderness and you're just going to rot. That's United's motto, I think, going into this transfer window. And we'll see if they see it through. Because like Ruben said, if we don't get the bids for the prices that Man United want for these players, the bomb squad, so-called bomb squad, then they're going to be United players again next season, but we know that they're not going to play. So we'll see if they follow through on that one. I can't actually see the full... Why does YouTube do that? I can't actually see the full name. It's Red Smurf, is all I can see. Is it Red Smudge or Red Smurf? I think it's Red Smurf, actually. Sorry about that, mate. I'm trying to find your name there. I'm trying to expand it on the screen. But thanks for the super chats. Love the channel, Adam. Nice, chill vibe. You have me tuning in at 3 a.m, so you're doing great. I love that, mate. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you doing that as well. 3 a.m, wow. Obviously over in the States, I'm guessing. But yeah, keep them comments coming in, my friend. Over the years, there's been hundreds of unproven Prem strikers that have come in and been amazing. Unproven Prem strikers, there has to be an environment for that, Kazi, for them to come into. And I think that's what I've just described. I do believe that Ruben is creating that environment for someone like Benjamin Cesco to come in and absolutely kickstart his career in the Premier League. He's young enough and I think has got time to adapt with this team. Again, I'm not forgetting Rasmus in this, though. And I said this morning. So anyone thinking, Adam, you're just describing Rasmus Hojlund here. No, Rasmus Hojlund I feel sorry for because he's coming at the wrong time. He has. And nobody can deny that. Like, coming in with the absolute mess and shitstorm that was going on at United for an unproven striker who has never played in the Premier League, I do feel sorry for him a little bit. I do. But United are in no position to feel sorry for players right now. We all want results, and sometimes you have to make that call, and that's what we discussed this morning. And if it does get to that stage where Rasmus Hojlund is used as a make-weight for Benjamin Cesco, for instance, then I haven't got a problem with it. I would like him to stay and actually prove a point. I would like United to go out and buy a striker and not have to sell a player for it, just to prove the point to the likes of Garnacho, Antony and Jadon Sancho. There's another player coming in that's going to keep you on the bench unless you find another football club. I would love that to happen. And Rasmus as a backup, because of his work ethic and wanting to learn and wanting to become that player and have the right mentality to be a Man United player, yeah, I'm all for that. I am. But I understand the other side in Rasmus also leaving. And that's what we talked about this morning. Adam, your passion is great, and we all wish a top four finish, but we need to remember we finished last season. It will be small steps before we get to top four again. Lee, disagree completely, mate. No, top four. As simple as. You know why? Nottingham Forest relegation battle the season before. No European football last season. Missed out Champions League football by 1 game. I'm sorry, mate. It can happen, and United need to make it happen. If you challenge for top four, you'll get Europa League. That's where United needs to be setting their sights. Don't just go for the Europa League and expect that to be okay. Challenge for the top 4. Set a standard. Go for it. You've got more time to prepare than anyone else fighting for them places in the top 7. Get out there and use that opportunity this season alone with no European football commitments and get up there. United can make top 4 this season. I'm telling you now. Do I think they'll do it? I think they'll probably come short. I'm being honest there. A couple more players coming in, I'm going to get even more confidence. But the way I'm seeing these players now actually respond to Ruben's demands and the players that are coming in, I actually feel like we've got a fantastic chance this season. If we had European football this season and we had the same scenarios we've got now, I wouldn't be as confident. I'll be honest about that. I wouldn't be. I just know without Champions League football, this is, I think, the best opportunity we're going to have to sort of bounce back from an absolute disaster of a season. Look, we could have easily got the bailout by winning the Europa League and gone into the Champions League. But I said it then, and I was always intrigued to see how Manchester United handled the transfer window without any European football, because I think it would force them into action that we're talking about now, like moving other players on. On that note, I need to move on because we need to talk about Jadon Sancho. More talk on him leaving Manchester United again. He wants Borussia Dortmund, and this is moving closer. But I seen a report earlier on about Borussia Dortmund. They are attracted to Jadon Sancho. They know what he's about, but they're worried about the look that would put out to the fans. Is it not creative? Is it not productive moving forward in a way if you keep on going back to the player that had been successful before? Or why can't you develop somebody else? They're worried about the look that it portrays and what the fans might think about it. Also, very aware, Borussia Dortmund, of Jadon Sancho not being able to make it at either Manchester United or Chelsea and not wanted by either of them clubs. They're thinking, why are we going to spend money on a player that nobody wants in England anymore? Is that a concern for us? Yeah, damn right it's a concern. And this is the reality that these players are going to have to get a grip with as well. So Borussia Dortmund on Jadon Sancho. Again, that's going to be one, I feel, that might drag on a little bit. There is more of a chance of him moving on now because his wage demands have been lowered. We've said this before. We cut off the actual, 50% we was reporting. Could that actually help Jadon Sancho get the move? Of course it will. Will Dortmund go for him? I think that fits them as well and what they want. They can afford the wages. They can afford the price of the player. Are they willing to commit to Jadon Sancho again? I still remember them words when he went back the first time on loan from Man United. Welcome back. The man is back. What are Manchester United thinking? Well, why don't you pay for him then and buy him, but Dortmund, if he's that good? We'll see, won't we? Put your money where your mouth is. Bet you wish you didn't say anything now. All right, from Australia, Red Smith. Sorry, got that the wrong way around, didn't I? Players Ruben is getting in seem to be fighters, and I get the feeling we won't have the light switch FC mentality of the past few years. Glory, glory, Man United. From Australia. Thanks for that again, mate. Red Smith. Love that. Thanks for the contributions. 600 likes already. Wow. Mega show. Make sure you hit that like button, everyone. Also, hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't already. It's free. It just helps the channel out massively. We're climbing to that 94k mark now. We can see the 100k in the distance. And it's getting closer by the day. My God, it's moving quick. But if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button as well. Completely free. If you're loving the content, hit the like button. Also, thank you, everybody. Moving on to a few more comments as well. Please keep them coming in. Lawrence says, we'll be okay against top 4. Struggle against low blocks as usual. Well, this is the difference that we've got now. We've got a bit of something different up front. A bit more creativity. Players that can look after the ball a lot better than what we've had before. Let's be honest, if you're going into a low block against a team like last season, and I get what you're saying, Lawrence, on that one. You're dead right, mate. So you're looking at Garnacho, Rasmus Hojlund, potentially, who else have we got in that front line there? Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes can open up any team on his day, but we know he gets a little bit giddy when he's not getting the same reaction as the rest of his team. He tries to do everyone's job. There becomes confusion, and we lose shape. Now, that's Bruno's flaw, and we know what Bruno's flaws are, but thankfully for us, his positives always outweigh his negatives, and he is a world-class player. I don't think anybody would have him in his in their team, but if you were saying last season, United coming up against a low block, I would be like Lawrence there in the chat, and I would say, I'm not confident at all. But now you're bringing in Cesco. You've got Cunha. You've got Mbumo. You've then got Bruno behind them. You've then got Ahmad out wide with them. You've then got Dorgu, who is revitalised this summer and moving forward. An understanding between Mainu and Degate in midfield when they come on the pitch. United are different. And they've brought in a different model here. And I think the attack is going to look completely different. This is night and day from last season in what we're watching at the moment with Manchester United in this pre-season. And I am aware that it's still only pre-season. I'm never going to forget that. But still, Manchester United, I think, right now, are in the best spot they've ever been in. And the players that are coming in are just adding to it. And that's why I'm more confident that them low block games, and we'll see this, you'll have Fulham and Burnley straight after Arsenal. And we'll see how Manchester United cope with them. You might be right, Lawrence. I hope you're wrong, buddy. But definitely in terms of Manchester United moving forward, the signings that we've made, the way that we're shaping up, it's huge. I do think that United are going to be a completely different proposition altogether. Oh God. Just reading through some more comments on this one. Next season, 500k per week saved when Maguire and Casemiro move on. Hopefully, that's when we focus on the midfield and goalkeeper. That's very true. Let's just quickly check everything that is going down. Make sure that there is nothing on social media regarding any of these moves that we're talking about. God, there is so much going on about... God, there's so much going on regarding the Alexander Isak situation. My giddy aunt. Yeah, there's loads going on. But we haven't missed anything, really. We're waiting on the information regarding Benjamin Sesko coming through. Jack Morehouse has now signed for Leyton Orient. That loan deal is now done. Confirmation from the club themselves. Moving on to the Antony situation and where we're actually at with that one. Now, the update on Antony is, I'm just going to bring it up now. So, Antony has turned down offers. So, Antony has turned down an offer from Saudi, holding out for Real Betis. As the transfer deadline approaches, Betis believe that by rejecting other offers, Antony will force Manchester United to accept their loan proposal. Fuck off. Sorry for swearing. I'm sick of Real Betis. I hate them. They're like skimping and scraping around. If he was that important to you, you'd buy the man. But I'm going to ask the chat right now on this one. Do you feel like United will be pressured into moving Antony on? Or do you think they're going to stand their ground with these players and say, nope, you didn't meet the price that we wanted. Sling your hook. See you later. By the way, Betis don't even want to pay Antony's wages in full. They want United to pay Antony's wages again and give them a loan deal. Are you shitting me right now? Seriously. If Betis want to do a loan deal and United contribute to his wages, then pump up 20 million in a loan fee and then he comes back to United next summer. And then we'll sell him again to somebody else if he smashes it against Betis. And that's the only way I can see United even entertaining any sort of loan deal. To still own the player, but Betis pump up a massive loan fee for Antony to give us some more money going into this summer. Look, he's still going to be clinging on and hanging around. I know it, and it's not the ideal situation that we want to be in. But Antony out of the door and United earning money and then could earn more money next summer as well, then maybe we go with that. Give us 20 million now as a loan fee, and then we'll let you buy Antony for 20 million again next season. And then you can take him. I think that works for United. Let's see what they can make out of it. But I'm not for bowing down and giving in to Real Betis. They are taking the mick right now with their demands. It's ridiculous. Do you think we should just stand our ground and let Antony come back and tell Betis where to go? Or would you try and make something happen with that loan? Big loan fee. Wages covered, majority of bonuses involved in the deal. Let's just rinse Betis for everything they can for a loan. Put an obligation on there for next season for 20 or 30 million. If they want to do the loan, then they're going to have to pay they're going to have to pay through the roof to keep him on loan. That's what I think. But they just don't want to pay Antony's wages. This is a player that they really love, apparently. This is like going back to Sancho and Dortmund again, innit? What are United doing? We love Jadon Sancho. Welcome back to Dortmund. Well, if you love him that much, you would have bought him, wouldn't you? No, you've got concerns all of a sudden. Now that we're actually asking you to put your money where your mouth is, you've got concerns. Yeah, do one. And Betis are in the same boat here with Antony. It's an absolute joke what they're offering Man United and how they're approaching this. A loan for Antony again, having just got back off a loan. Come on, be serious right now. I can't see that floating at all with United. Unless, like I said, they absolutely rinse Real Betis for every single penny. That, I think, is the only way that Manchester United will make this happen. It was. I mentioned JJ Gabriel at the start of the show there. It's all over social media, his goal. This kid is dynamite. Absolute dynamite. A 14-year-old rinsing under 18 players. He is ahead of his time. If you look at that trajectory there, you think a 14-year-old in the under 18, so playing against 18-year-old, playing 4 years up his age category. If he gets to 15, 16 and he's still doing the same thing, you could have a 16-year-old actually, realistically, signed onto a professional contract and Manchester United taking him into their first team. This is how good the kid is. And you can only look at what's happening and then just sort of put it into the predictor, really, as to where he's actually going to be. It's a madness, isn't it? It is an absolute madness. Let's get some more comments and get some more suggestions in, everyone. Talk to me. I can see Lowe's talking about Antony. Tommy Taylor says loan to buy. Antony can find a club with money, says Skynet. Alistair says, I would tell Antony, you are not going to Betis on loan. You will play with the under-21s. Okay. We should stand our ground. Let's not be pushovers, says Jack. Betis can stick it where the sun doesn't shine, says Paul. Everyone's saying exactly the same thing. Kenny also says, I think we are going to surprise teams this season. I have gut instincts. I'll go with them gut instincts, mate. I hope you're right. 14-year-old beat the Swiss national women's team after all. Says Lawrence, I have never felt confident about Man United like this for years. I like that. I like that comment there. Is that Halje? I think that's how you say that. Al-Hajj. Sorry if I said your name wrong there, but yeah, I like that comment there, buddy. Keep that confidence coming. Let's boost it up. Betis always trying to move like Jagger. I like that one. 800 likes. Thank you, everyone. Keep them thumbs up pumping on the video. Cheers, everyone. Did you watch him, JJ Gabriel, one for the future? Joseph, I watched the game that he debuted last season. I watched a few of his games. I think he scored about 4 or 5 goals for United's under-18s in the last few games of the season, just being integrated in. United brought him in to make him stay, and then he signed a 2-year deal because he's now playing with the under-18s. He is going to go to Croatia, apparently, for the under-19s tournament also. United are making moves to keep JJ Gabriel on board here because they know they've got an absolute gem of a player. And again, he scored another goal today for the under-18s. And if you've not seen the goal yet, it's all over social media now. Ouch! What a goal. Absolute humdinger. Brilliance. The future looks very, very bright for Manchester United when it comes to the academy players coming through. Let's just go through the news again. If you have just joined us earlier on, it looks like Newcastle now, according to Craig Hope, the correspondent up there for the Daily Mail in the North East, has said that Newcastle now have dropped out of the race for Benjamin Cesco. Lots of sources saying that the deal is moving forward behind the scenes. We're waiting for the Cesco is all in on Manchester United. We might get a David Ornstein update. We might get a Fabrizio Romano one soon. But everyone who is able to take that risk online and post something out is all saying the same thing, that Cesco has made his mind up. He is going to be a Manchester United player if he moves to the Premier League, and that's the only club that he wants to move to. That's the story that is going around at the moment. Some actually saying that this deal could now move as fast as getting the deal done by next week. He's ready to go. United know what Leipzig want, and they're ready, like Romano said, to make that bid and move this forward. And with making that bid, they're telling Benjamin Cesco that the bid is going in, which convinces the player that he is now heading to Manchester United because they are 100% in on him and want him at Manchester United. That's where everything is at the moment with Manchester United and Benjamin Cesco. It is all looking rather positive. And the best one that I've seen is from United Source on Twitter, who are not even verified and are looking to monetize their channel. They just come out with news when it really matters, and are never really jumping the gun on anything. They have come out this evening and said, don't even worry about Newcastle for Benjamin Cesco. It's never going to happen. All he wants is Manchester United. And that's just off the back of what the journalists over in Germany have been saying all through the last few days that we've been reporting here on Forever United TV, that he has made his mind up and he wants Manchester United. That is where we are with Mr. Benjamin Cesco at the moment, everybody. So, yeah, no need to worry on that. On Antony, he wants Real Betis and thinks that he can, or Betis actually feel like United will be forced into loaning Antony because he only wants them. He's rejected a Saudi Pro League team. He's rejected another team that's not being reported as well in Europe, and only wants Real Betis. Well, it doesn't work like that, Antony lad. And we'll see if United buckle on it. We'll see if they get anything more out of it. Jadon Sancho is dropping his wage demands, like we said the other day, by 50% to move to Germany. Juventus now look like they are pulled out of the race for Jadon Sancho. Was it ever bleeding on with Juventus? It looks like Germany is back on the cards for Jadon Sancho, and that is the more likely destination for him now going forward this summer. Obviously, he's trying to get the best that he can for him. So, yeah, I think this is where we're now at. Newcastle, by the way, withholding out for Alexander Isak. If you didn't see the news earlier on, there's a lot actually happening right now with that Isak situation. I'm going to be reporting on that later. But again, just to go back, also I did talk about Ruben Amorim and what actually happened with Manchester United this summer. He feels like he is now getting into Manchester United's team on and off the pitch. He is making waves now. The players were given an individual programme for the close season. Much of it was specific running drill that the players were tasked with replicating regularly back at the club's Carrington training complex. Unlike a bleep test, the sports scientists have been very impressed with the results from this and have helped Manchester United hit the ground running this pre-season. So that is where we are actually at right now. Let's just see. I'm just reading news. I'm going to be talking about the whole Isak situation on Football Talks as well. Later on, there's a video coming out on that one. But it is all holding out right now and helping Manchester United secure Benjamin Cesco. They are not selling Isak at the moment. They have rejected everything that Liverpool have thrown at them. Good news for United anyway. I mean, we don't want Liverpool getting any stronger. I mean, if Isak leaves Newcastle, that might help us get top four. It could well do. We'll see, won't we? Milk Cup Prem final at 8 p.m. United versus Southampton. Good shout there, Wayne. Entertainment for tonight, everybody. Get on to that. Wayne has just filled us in. Thank you for that, my man. Love that. Silverback says he will tell us in the show if he moves over to a big up after. Oh, right. Sorry. By the way, everybody. Yes, we are going to be. I forgot to do the show yesterday. Actually, I was supposed to do a big up show yesterday and a call in. I've missed it because of something that I needed to do last night, actually. But yeah. That was supposed to be yesterday. Completely forgot about that one, everyone. We do go across to call-ins. We're going to do another one on Monday, but we're also going to be doing a watch-along on Sunday here on YouTube again for the game on Sunday evening against Everton. So we're back on the watch-alongs as long as everybody is up for it. I'll ask the question again on Sunday morning, but yes, we will do that. Thanks for reminding me about that as well, everyone, regarding the big up situation and Silverback. I will be doing another one on Monday. We may even do a late night one after the game. Never know. Might just do it straight after the game and do a bit of a call in on Big Up on the Sunday evening as well. So let's just see on that one. And yeah, that pretty much wraps everything up on the show, everyone. All that's left for me to say is absolutely mega show. 3 megas there, so it must have been good. Please do get into the comments when the video is finished. Give the video a like. We're over 900 right now, so if you've all liked the video as we're leaving and you've loved the show, please do give it the thumbs up. We'll see if we can get that to 1,000 just as we're closing in now, which would be fantastic. Make sure that you also stay tuned for this weekend's content. We have some more stuff coming up with Match Bingo as well. That's the QR code up on your screen there. Dead easy. All you have to do is scan that QR code, download the app, and deposit £5 into your account. That will be doubled, and then you can use FUTV in the promo code section there in capitals to boost your chances of winning by 200%. It's only £2 a game, and you can win anything up to £200 on any match that's on the cards there. It's bingo with match events. That's it. All you have to do is get them, match them, and they're ticked off automatically off your card. 15 of them. That will grab you 300 quid in some occasions that we've seen, with plenty of people here on Forever United TV also hitting that jackpot as well. And that is it, everyone. Thank you so much. A big appreciation to the mods again for holding out. Everyone who's been involved in the show, all the comments, please continue it into the comment section after the show is finished. I love you all, and I will see you all later on. If you are looking for a bit more content, I will be back on Football Talks with the update on everything else that's going on in the Premier League as well. Separate video coming out very, very soon. Try and get it up for about 8 o'clock tonight for you all as well. And that's us. We are done. Thank you, Super Chatters, as well. I will see you all tomorrow morning here on Forever United TV, your 8 o'clock update Saturday morning.